Hello everyone, welcome to course study on solid mechanics. As we are in unit number 5, principal stresses and strain. So in today's lecture we are going to solve the numericals based on the concept of principal stresses and strain. Before proceeding to solve the numericals, first of all we will go through this particular slide. In this slide, the methods to determine the stresses on an oblique plane is explained in detail. Okay, so there are two methods to determine the stresses on an oblique plane. The first method is analytical method. Second method is graphical method. Okay, graphical method, it means that by using more circle we are going to determine the stresses on an oblique plane. Okay, but in syllabus we have the analytical method only. So we will discuss analytical method in detail. So for the analytical method there are four cases. Okay, and those four cases are given over here. First of all we will go through the case number fourth one, then we will proceed to the another cases, because whatever the equation for the normal stress and the shear stress on an oblique plane we have determined, that equation it is based on the case number 4. So what it shows, case number 4. In case number 4, a member is subjected to normal stresses in two mutually perpendicular direction and it is accompanied by simple shear stresses. So in case number 4, a member is subjected to normal stresses in two mutually perpendicular direction. Okay, so this is sigma x, this is sigma x. Okay, this is sigma y, this is sigma y. So it means that member is subjected to normal stresses in two mutually perpendicular directions. So those are the mutually perpendicular directions. Okay, and it is also accompanied by the simple shear stresses. So this is the value of shear stress, this one. Is it okay? So this is the case number 4. A member is subjected to two mutually normal stresses in two mutually perpendicular direction which is accompanied by the simple shear stresses. For such a case, we have determined the value of normal stress and the tangential stress on an oblique plane. The normal stress is given by sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 cos of 2 theta plus tau sine of 2 theta. This is the value for the normal stress. Okay, for the case number 4. In the same manner, we have determined the value of sigma t, that is shear stress on an oblique plane. It is given by sigma x minus sigma y by 2 sine of 2 theta minus tau into cos of 2 theta. This is the value for the shear stress. Okay, so what it indicates, this particular two equation, it shows that the value of sigma x is included in that particular equation, the value of sigma y is also included in that particular equation, and the value of tau which is acting over the member is also included in the equation of normal stress and the shear stress on an oblique plane. Okay, so this is the equation for case number 4. But if you go through the case number 1, what it shows, it is a member subjected to axial stress, that is uniaxial. It is also known as uniaxial stress. Uniaxial means a member is subjected to only one stress. It may be along x direction or it may be along y direction. Only one stress we have to consider. So another stress will be 0. Is it okay? So if I consider the value of normal stress for case number 1, okay, and if I assume that the stress is acting along x direction, then the value of sigma y will be 0. Is it okay? The value of tau will be 0, because in case number 1 a member is subjected to axial stress only, uniaxial, only one stress is there. Okay, so the remaining stresses will be 0. The same thing will happen with the tangential stress also, or shear stress also. Okay, so remember that in case of uniaxial stress or only axial stress, one of the stress, that is it may be a sigma x or sigma y, will be 0 and shear stress will also be 0. Okay, so this indicates the case number 1. Now we will move to the case number 2. A member is subjected to normal stresses in two mutually perpendicular directions. It is known as biaxial stresses. Now, in this case, a member is subjected to two normal stresses, that is sigma x and sigma y. Okay, so the shear stress will be 0. So this particular, if I consider shear stress equal to 0, whatever the answer you will get for this equation and for this equation, that answer will be the equation for case number second. Okay, now in third case, a member is subjected to shear stresses, only shear stresses, that is, it is known as pure shear. No normal stresses will be there along x direction, along y direction, only it is subjected to shear stresses. So what it indicates, therefore the normal stress in the equation of normal stress, sigma x and sigma y will be 0, only it will consider the value of tau because it's a case of pure shear. And the same thing will happen with the sigma t also, it will consider this value only, sigma x and sigma y will be in 0. And what it indicates, these two equation, it is the equation which we have derived for the case number 4. So in that manner we are going to solve our numerical. Remember that whatever the sign convention we have followed here, we have to consider it as a positive. This theta, again we have, if any angle is given with respect to the loading direction, so that angle has to convert in this manner, then and then only we will get the answer. So try to convert our numerical in this manner. Okay, if any one direction changes, then the sign will also changes. Okay, so we will proceed to solve the numerical. So the statement of first numerical is a bar of cross-sectional area 850 mm square is acted upon by an axial force of 60 kN which is applied at each end of the bar. Determine the normal and the shearing stresses on a plane which is inclined at 30 degree to the direction of the loading. Okay, so as per the statement given in the numerical, we have a bar of cross-sectional area 850 mm square. Remember that it's a cross-sectional area, very important one. It's a cross-sectional area 850 mm square. Okay, it is acted upon by an axial force of 60 kN. Okay, which is applied at each end of the bar. We have to determine the normal stress and the shear stress on a plane which is inclined at 30 degree to the direction of loading. Remember that particular plane, it makes an angle of 30 degree with the direction of loading. It is very important to here. Okay, so how to proceed to solve the numerical? In the statement, the value of axial force is given, it is 60 kN which is applied at each end of the bar. Okay, so we have to find out the value of stress from this particular load condition and from the given area, because we have to convert our problem for the stresses. It may be a normal stress, it may be a shear stress. Okay, but in the numerical it is given in the form of force. Okay, so first, not shear stress, it's a stress, normal stress developed. So the stress developed, normal stress developed will be sigma x, which is equal to P by A. So the value of P is 60 kN. We have to convert it into Newton. So it will become 60 into 10 raised to 3 Newton divided by area. Area is 850 mm square. Is it okay? So 60 into 10 raised to 3 divided by 850, it will give you the value of sigma x. Okay, that is, it's a value of stress which is acting along x direction. So that value is 70.5882 Newton per mm square. Okay, you can consider it for the sigma y also, because it's a axial force, only one force is given, so you can consider along x direction, along y direction also. Okay, but it makes an angle of 30 degree with the direction of loading, therefore we have considered along this one. Okay, so the value of sigma x which we have calculated is 70.5882 Newton per mm square. So this is the sigma x and sigma x. Okay, so it is the case of uniaxial stress, a bar which is subjected to axial stress or uniaxial stress. So it's a first condition, remember that. Okay, next one, what is given in the numerical, stresses on a plane inclined at 30 degree. Okay, it is given in the numerical. So remember that we have to find out the value of normal and the shear stress on a plane which is inclined at 30 degree to the direction of loading. So whatever the value of sigma n, that is normal stress, and the shear stress on an oblique plane we have calculated or we have derived, that is for the case of angle which is made with the vertical face of the member. Okay, so in this given statement the angle is with respect to direction of loading. So this is the direction of loading. Okay, and with respect to that it makes an angle of 30 degree. So this angle is 30 degree. I am showing over here this angle is 30 degree, but we have derived our equation for the this given angle, this particular angle. Okay, so you try to find out this particular angle. So by using geometrical consideration we have this angle equal to 60 degree. I am not going to use 30 degree. Remember that whatever the equation we have derived, that equation is derived on the basis of this angle theta. We have not derived for this angle, for this we have derived it. Okay, and that angle will be the 60 degree, because in this particular triangle this is 90 degree, this is 30 degree, so it will be remaining angle will be the 60 degree. Okay, so very important concept is to find out the angle theta. Afterward it is very easy to solve. Okay, so we have normal stress on an oblique plane given by sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 cos of 2 theta plus tau sine of 2 theta. Okay, but what it indicate? It indicate that the value of sigma y is equal to 0 and the value of shear stress will be equal to 0. Okay, because it is the case of uniaxial stress. So after solving this equation, what answer we will get? Sigma x is 70.5882, sigma y will be the 0. Okay, now tau is also 0. Is it okay? So on solving this equation we will have sigma n equal to 17.647 Newton per mm square. This is the value of normal stress which is acting on a plane which is inclined at an angle of 30 degree with the direction of loading, or we can say at it which is inclined at an angle of 60 degree with the vertical plane of the member. Remember this. Okay, so we have normal stress 17.64 Newton per mm square. As it is a positive one, so we can see it as a tensile in nature. If we have a negative sign, so it indicates that it is a compressive in nature. Okay, so whatever the direction we have assumed, positive sign, it indicates that whatever the direction we have assumed for sigma x, that is along this direction, it is correct one. Okay, if we have a negative sign, so we have to change the sense of direction. Okay, so it is very easy. Next one, we have to find out the value of shear stress. Shear stress can be given by sigma x minus sigma y by 2 sine of 2 theta minus tau into cos of 2 theta. It is the value which we have already derived. Okay, so again sigma x is 70.5882, sigma y will be the 0 because it's a uniaxial, and tau is also 0. Okay, so on solving this equation, what answer we will get? It is 30.565 Newton per mm square. So it's a value of shear stress which is acting on an oblique plane. Is it okay? So in this manner we have determined the value of sigma n and sigma t for a given set of condition. In the next lecture we will again discuss the numerical based on the biaxial stress, numerical based on the shear stresses, pure shear case. Okay, and a member which is subjected to both normal stresses as well as the shear stresses. Okay, so we will stop here. Thank you.